I've been a sociology professor for over 2 decades, and it will probably surprise no one that my most popular class is called The Sociology of Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and her fans have dominated the cultural landscape, and they've become one of the most fascinating sociological spectacles in recent memory. I use pseudonyms in my research, and so a woman who I'll call Naomi is a Swifty. And she's one of about 60 Taylor Swift fans who I've interviewed for my research on the Swifty fandom. Naomi moved to Colorado to pursue a PhD in robotics. And she was struggling. She felt alone. She didn't have any friends in her city, and there were very few women in her degree program. And then the COVID pandemic hit, which made her feel even more isolated. On her way home from class, Naomi spotted a floor mat in front of her neighbor's apartment unit. The floor mat said, "I hope you like Taylor Swift." Naomi left a note for her neighbor that said that she too was a fan. Maybe they could talk. Their first few conversations were a little awkward, but their friendship deepened over time, and months later, they bought tickets to the Eras Tour together. Naomi still had to navigate a difficult degree program in a new city, but she had a friend because of a floor mat, because of Taylor Swift. Naomi's story is not unique, but it's different from the way that many media critics and scholars have depicted fans and fandom. Critics have often described intense fan behavior as a parasocial relationship. Parasocial relationships are where a person feels an intense personal connection to a celebrity, but it's one-sided. The celebrity doesn't know them and likely doesn't even know that they exist. Many people see these relationships as a problem, as a symptom of our celebrity-obsessed culture, and as a sign of general societal decline. They argue that this form of hero worship takes away from real relationships that people could be building with real people. Seen in that light, legions of Taylor Swift fans, like Naomi, should be a cause for concern. But what if parasocial relationships and celebrity hero worship are good things? For the past 2 years, I've had the privilege of doing in-depth interviews with Swifties. I've had hundreds of hours of conversations with Swifties, and I've monitored their behavior on online social media platforms like TikTok and Tumblr. And I want to share with you some of the insights that I've gained from those conversations and observations. And in so doing, I'll try to make a case for why we should take Taylor Swift seriously. But more importantly, why we should take her fans seriously. Taylor Swift's talent as a singer, songwriter, and performer is obviously part of her appeal. She's broken several world records over the course of her career, including being the first person to win 4 Grammy Awards for Album of the Year. By several metrics, she is the most successful recording artist of the 21st century. But she has another talent that helps explain her devoted fan base. Taylor Swift creates what I call a parasocial affordance. That is, there are specific things that she does as a songwriter and as a celebrity that build a shared intimacy with her fans. Taylor Swift is known for her intimate and autobiographical songwriting, which encourages the listener to compare their experiences with hers. Now, Taylor Swift is obviously not the only songwriter to do this, but my interviews suggest that she does it exceptionally well, and that she speaks to the experiences of girls and young women in powerful ways. In several interviews, Swifties told me that it's like Taylor Swift is reading their diary. And in turn, her songwriting makes it feel like the listener is reading her diary. Amy, a Swiftie from Boston, said, "I feel like she personally wrote the song, 'You're on Your Own, Kid,' about me. I feel like every line is just like so applicable to my life in scary ways." Wendy, a Swiftie in her mid-20s, said, "Taylor Swift sees me in a way that the people in my immediate social circle maybe don't even see me. Like that is a joyful feeling." Now, many of the Swifties who I interviewed, like Amy and Wendy, freely admit to being deeply invested in her personal life. And they put Swift on a pedestal, and there's an element of hero worship. But their parasocial relationship with Taylor Swift is a resource. That resource connects them with other Swifties. The vertical relationship with Taylor generates productive horizontal relationships with others, at work and out in public. The power of those micro connections is what sociologists refer to as the strength of weak ties. Swifties have created a vibrant collective culture, like the call and response moments during her live performances, the trading of friendship bracelets, and countless inside jokes and bits of lore within the Swiftie fandom. These things have emerged organically within the fandom. For example, Taylor Swift did not command her fans to create and trade friendship bracelets. Rather, fans seized on a single line in the song, and the practice grew from that. When Taylor Swift performs a song called Delicate, fans will scream out a 6-word chant at a particular moment in that song. That chant was created in 2018 by a 17-year-old Swiftie named Emily Valencia, and it's become part of Swiftie culture, and it happens at every single performance of that song. Now, to outsiders, these behaviors might seem simplistic or cult-like, but they're a source of what sociologists call collective effervescence. Today, fewer people than ever are attending church, but many still crave that sense of togetherness and connection. Fandom and these fan rituals provide that sense of connection with other people. And that sense of connection can cut across social and political differences that might otherwise divide us. Dozens of Swifties described to me how they made connections at work or out in public through a shared appreciation of Taylor Swift. And they discussed how easy these connections were to make. A Swiftie named Addison said, "A Taylor Swift song comes on at like a bar or something like that, and you can immediately point out the people in the room who are huge Taylor fans. And you're like immediately friends." We should listen to the lessons that Swifties can teach us because joy and friendship are supremely important, especially with the loneliness epidemic that's gripped our society. Hardcore fans, like Swifties, can show us the importance of joy and friendship. Because fandoms, despite their divisions, dramas, and hierarchies, are joy factories. And we need more joy factories in today's world. There's a lot of bad news out there, and the Swiftie fandom, well, not perfect, is a haven. The world that Swifties have created is a source of lasting relationships and social connections. And the fandom has done this not in spite of the parasocial relationships with Taylor Swift, but because of them. And that's why Taylor Swift and her army of Swifties are an important pop culture phenomenon that we should take more seriously. Thank you.